Hey y'all, what's going on? You already know. You got the bloody bunnies on, and you know it's time for True Blood. But before I get into that, let me say this real quick. Thank you to all of those who prayed for my mother. She came home from the hospital today, and God is good all the time. And all the time, God is good. It is what it is, even for a sinner like myself. So I just wanted to say that, and I just want to say thank you to those who prayed and whew, all of that. So thank you. Now, on to True Blood. Okay. I went over to the Couple Blood group, and first of all, I started a thing in Tiny Chat, and then it like threw me out. Google Chrome went crazy, so I hope the Bloodies was able to continue to chat in there and everything. And it's amazing to me how the little Bloodies thing has grown, y'all. It has really grown into something, but it's still kind of confined, but it's gotten bigger. Anywho, so let's get into it. Now, y'all, I don't want to talk about everything because, to be quite honest, this episode was really boring and I was disappointed in it. I don't know what they're gonna do. I feel like so much, even though this whole season, they've tried to throw so much at you, but I don't feel like they've completed a lot of things. You know what I mean? Like, when this last episode, what is that? A piece of her? When this last episode, it is a piece of her, y'all. When this last episode is all done and over with, I really think if it's not going to be a 3 hour long thing, and Joe, you could give me a little inside kiki on that one, honey. If we're going to get a little extra time, because we have been robbed of some minutes now. Anywho, so, what do we, y'all? I really want to start with Bill because y'all know what I'm gonna say with his cross dressing ass. No shade to the cross dressers, but Bill and them tight get ups, y'all. Bill has worked my nerves like no other this here season. Him and ooh. So apparently, we all know from last week. Apparently, Lilith is supposed to be she done chose Bill, and I'm thinking, well, okay, well, Bill, you kind of messed up in a damn way. Of course, Lilith would choose you. And he done just totally just done forgot about Sookie. Now, I don't know what Lilith got on that Herod Barrett she got, honey, but Bill has lost his rabbit ass mind. Okay, so Lilith then came to him, and it's like, he's not trying to hear her, but he's trying to hear her, and she's like, drink all of me, get it all, suck that ride. She just, and I'm like, really, Lilith, you couldn't shave or nothing, but anywho. So Bill's like he's trying to resist, and we know that Eric and old girl is mixed up ever since God got his neck and face ripped all off, which is what brought old girl to her senses, Eric's sister, because she's sitting there and, she's looking some kind of way, and then old girl comes in and, the one that Russell slapped fired of, and she's like, well, what's going on with you, honey? You look a little different. What's going on? What is it? And I'm like, ugh. Why don't you and Eric get together and just tear her ass up? When are they gonna tear her up? This bitch, y'all, I told y'all I did not like her. I was not feeling her. Anywho, so Bill's kind of running from the voice, and Lilith disappears, and her handprints on the little thing where the little blood vial is. Which, y'all, this is all just ridiculous for real. Okay, so off of that, let me go to Jessica real quick because I just want to kind of throw her in here real quick. I don't talk about Jessica that much, but this season, Jessica has been a little bit more relevant. Her character has came, you know what I'm saying, from this to that. And y'all know Jessica wasn't my favorite, but I'm beginning to kind of like her, and I can still see her humanity shining through the fact that she is a vampirella. So she's kind of checking stuff like, yeah, Bill, can I use your phone? Because Russell done got loose. He done slapped old girl. He done left, which I knew Russell was going to go off. And she's like, well, I need to let Jason know because, she's in love with Jason. But, girl, you got me on the fence because some kind of way I think you still want Hoyt. Hold on. So, excuse me, y'all, sorry. Okay, she wants to use a phone, and Bill's like, nah, we can't do that. What you need it for? And she's like, well, I just want to. And he's like, no, we don't do that. Then she comes up with this plan. Well, I think I want to turn Jason into a vampire, which is what they want to do anyway. They kind of like, we need a whole bunch of little bitty baby vampires going on. Y'all gonna need to start changing some folks. So Bill's like, so I guess you think you just gonna, you just gonna run game on me because Bill's just blood drunk. He's just gone. He gone. She's like, no, and then Bill getting back at her is like, well, okay, go do it. We do need some more since you feel that way. But I'm gonna send my security. He gets security. And she knows, she's like, well, no, you don't have to do it. Well, maybe not. She's trying to back out of it. So we're gonna stop right there before I go into that. Okay. Let me see. Should I go there? Yeah, I was all over the place. It was, and I'm going to be even more all over the place. Okay, now, since I've talked about making baby vampirillas and stuff, excuse me, y'all. Can we go to the scene where Tara's in there trying to clean the office and shit? And so, Pam's like, wait a minute. Let me check. She's like, and we ain't gonna talk about this no more. We done killed one of the sheriffs, hunted the authority, and apparently, what's her name didn't know about it. Tara didn't know nothing about the authority. She's kind of like, well, he was in here trying to get our money. Girl, I'm trying to get our back. This is the attitude she got. So Pam tells her, as your maker, I don't want you to think of this or say this or so-and-so, this and that and other. And Tara's like, well, okay, what can she do? Okay, now, let's get off of that just for 1 second. Now, let me kind of ease back and let's go to Merlotte's for a minute because a whole bunch of things is going on in Merlotte's, y'all. First of all, oh, girl, what's his name comes in to get, Andy comes to get his food and stuff, and she's telling, I got something else for you. You got the boys over there. One of them said, I'm sorry, put your ass on Facebook. The other one's like, he's just not feeling him at all. He sits down. He says, well, look, I'm just going to try to make, I'm going to try to make her happy, da-da-da. They finally shake his hand, and then Andy's doing this and trying to high five, and he's just awkward within itself. I'm just not there for that. I'm just not there for that. And with that being said, let me pause for a minute because we in there. Y'all, why are they 86 and la la? Now, at first, he was all up and through. Now, it seemed to me like they could do something with him. And where is Jesus? I don't know. They ain't closed that chapter for me, y'all. They haven't closed it. Okay, now. Let me see. Now, let's go to Sookie and her Sookatry. She's hanging out with the fairies. And by now, she knows that 15 great-granddaddies ago, they did a pact and she's owed to this thing or whatever the case may be. We already know the old girl who's pregnant, which we're going to get into her mess. And somebody said it on the Cup of Blood before the show even came out. We're going to get into that. So she's like, well, what we going to do? So they decide they want to introduce her to old girl. And she comes dancing in this blue dress. And apparently she going to be in this zone, that zone. You got to snap her out. You don't know what she going to be. She talk about boys to man, yes or no. And this and that and other, yes or no. And she's trying to tell Sookie, we all tied together. Russell, women know. The dude who's looking for her, the little blue woman, the woman in the blue dress, this old fairy, and Sookie are all tied together, but she ain't really giving it all up or whatever. She's snapping in and out. And then Sookie says, well, Russell Eddington. And she's like, Russell Eddington is still alive? Okay. That's when she's like, we got to do something. Now, I'm thinking, did something go on between her and Russell? And how did she know Russell? Y'all, what if Russell and her had a kiki together just like Sookie and Bill? Mm-hmm. Because she seemed all too familiar with Russell. Now we're going to go off that for a minute. Just for a minute. And we're going to slide over to Joe. Joe, I don't know what they done to your character here at the end. What is going on, Joe? So you just in there with your stinking daddy, because he just looked like he's stinking in there. He ain't had no bath. I don't see no water nowhere. The place is nasty. You out there trying to clean up or whatever. The neighbor comes and said, well, there's some new little vampires coming along. Apparently him and your daddy don't get along. Come to find out your daddy done stole the wolves' money and things. Now, Wolf Daddy, I'm going to need you to sit down somewhere. Now, you're stinking. You won't clean up your little place you live in. You're just nasty. You're betting all your Social Security money. And you done stole the money too? I don't know. I'm not with you on this. Joe looks at him and said, ain't you, that's the reason why, because you stole the money, ain't no other reason, this and that and other. And the man tried to tell Joe, you know, don't stay here with your daddy, he ain't no good. And y'all know Joe, he gonna be like, you know, Alcy, I call him Joe, y'all, just he gonna be Joe, that's what it is. He's telling him, don't stay, your daddy's just a suck your pussy, he just gonna suck you down into his abyss. Okay, so Joe and him have words, and he's like, you know, you taught me this and that and other, and Joe's kind of looking at him like he's stinking, and some kind of way the daddy says, well, this silver fence will protect us against the little vampires, but not the older ones, which was letting us know that somewhere down the road, the vampires is coming, okay? And I'm like, well, okay, Joe, just be ready. I'm not worried about the daddy because I done had it. Now, let me pause for a minute because y'all, now I got to talk about Sam Merlotte and his woman. They running around, they white mice, and they just appearing and disappearing and shifting. Somehow they, well, we already know how they end up there because they was in the little phone package or whatever, the pouch. They looking for old girl, and they realize, well, what is this? Some type of vampire lair or whatever. They going around or whatever. Meanwhile, back at the ranch. Back at the ranch. Now we're going to go back, and yes, I'm all over the place, y'all, because so much went on, but then it wasn't enough that went on. So back at the ranch where they at, because I seized the moment to talk about Eric and his poetry. Him and his sister. What is, so the only way y'all can make up is by bumping uglies. She's crying. She says she's sorry. She didn't get saddled up, honey, and ready to ride to Sam's Hill, honey. She didn't, okay. It's a such thing as I'm sorry, and drawers and clothes need to stay on. And why don't you ever have drawers on? I'm just saying, you just readily available. I mean, I'm just saying. So they throwing, and she realizes, you know, she sees it for what it is. Godric done said, honey, this is a godless God, and Lilith ain't this. And basically what's going to end up happening is y'all going to be feeding on each other. Which brings me back to Pam, because Jessica got loose, which I got to talk about that for a minute. So, now, before I do that, now I got to go back to the damn fairies. So, Sookie and them in there, and they realize they got to fight. The old ass elf says, yes, we do got to fight. But the pregnant one was like, we can't. That's suicide or whatever. So, in the midst of that, they decide they're going to fight. And Jason's like, yeah. And next thing you know, they outside the tree or whatever. Jason's outside the tree, and he's going. And well, it's him and Sookie or something. And they done made some plan. And oh, Lord, Jason is going to be the pawn for Russell to find. And, you know, Russell's new lover is in love with Jason. So they just thought they was just getting ready to throw all the way down. And it wasn't going to be like that. So Jason's there with the gun. He's going back and forth. And here comes Russell. He comes up there real quick, grabs the gun. He, you know, trying to get, oh, shit, trying to get the other one. He can't get it. Russell goes, tell us where. Jason's like, oh, they in the woods. They over there doing that, honey. They with the rest of the elf. And let me tell you something, he just gave up all the goods. The other one is rubbing Jason down like, ooh, yeah, you know, he's just a low-down scallywag. Come to find out, they done bled a whole sorority. Y'all just heard. They done bled them dry. Okay. So they get Jason to drive them, and I'm tickled as hell because when they get there, he's like, baby, let me out the car. Jason and him gets out. Russell's like, oh, I smell the elves and this, that, and other. And they just pew, pew, pew going everywhere and don't know where the hell they at. Meanwhile, Sookie them in there with the old ass elf looking like, you know, God, they got Jason. She says the plan is changing. Sookie wants to get Jason and bring him in, or she's ready to do battle or whatever. The old one said, Next thing you know, she goes after shit, thinking she gonna be so bad and so tough. So she got old dude, the Queen Russell's new lover, together, hit him with the light, and he goes flying off. And what? Okay, after he does that, and then she tries to get Russell. Russell turns that shit around in some kind of way. Russell's like, look at her. And they know each other, y'all. And I'm like, what the hell is going on? So she goes to try to hit Russell. Russell gets the up on her and drains that bitch. Before I knew she was a ragged and wrinkled bag. I mean, she was done. Now, what was her damn plan? Now, girl, you the oldest one. And they going to have to go get that ugly ass elf back her in the outer lands to get Russell to get... Yeah. Why do people keep trying to go for Russell with just a little bit? Y'all got to throw everything you got at Russell. He 3 million years old. That fool sat on the porch and told Jason, which, again, the writers of True Blood, y'all not going to keep on with this blasphemy and this disrespect. I knew Jesus. Ugh, you knew Jesus, you wouldn't be a vampire first. Anywho, so she's dead, and the rest of them is like, oh, Lord, you know they thinking in their head, they're like, well, if he killed that old ass bitch, I know we done for, you know. And so he's looking around like, oh, fairy. And all of a sudden, he can see their little fairy hangout, honey. So let's get off of that. Now, let's go back to Merlotte's, because this is when I want to talk about the pure fuckery. So, old girl is with your boy who just got rid of the fire demon, and they kind of hugged up, just glad she ain't getting ready to burn them to death. And Andy said, it's so good to see y'all back together. How do y'all make it work? So-and-so, this, and that, and other. And they talking, next thing you know, here come the damn fairy that he done screwed not once but twice, and this bitch pregnant. And it was just last week. The way he's saying is, she's like, you did the light oath with me, honey. You got this fairy ass. And you are we about to make it happen. And she's like, if you don't, he's like, I just would rather be with my own species. I'm with so-and-so. And honey, no disrespect. Maybe I'll take her the baby best I can. You know, he's trying to get out this shit. And I'm like, is this bitch really pregnant? But my bloody said it. That's his baby. Lord have mercy. Oh, girls like, you done put a bun in the oven, and now this shit is getting even worse. I'm wondering when Lala gonna come in this shit. But I'm not gonna, we not gonna, I'm just glad to see Lala coming back to Lala's self. Anywho, now let's go back to Fantasia, where, well, wait a minute, because y'all, I skipped over some stuff, because I didn't talk about the whole bit where Jessica, let me just say it right now, Jessica had to bite Jason. So dude was going to get, you know, do it. But she had a plan, didn't bite him enough. And apparently he had wooden bullets. And they shot old dude. And this and that and other. Jason was off. And that's when the whole thing went on. Y'all, I forgot all about that, y'all. So much went on. I'm serious. So, now what? Okay. So now we have Fantasia. Pam's there, and by this time, Jessica done ran in because she is running from them, because it ain't gonna be long before Bill realized that she done did this shit, because he just gone. She goes in there and said, I ain't never seen Bill be like this. But before she does that, she comes in and says, I need to be hid. And Pam's like, man, I ain't trying to have no motherfucking battle. I just made this bitch, and I'm tired of her. This is just Pam's whole idea. She said, well, I know where Eric is, and y'all already know when Eric comes into play, Pam's like, ding, ding, ding. So she's like, okay, she tells Tara, pull out one of them old coffers, but make sure you know, she didn't say this, but I'm thinking in my own mind. Make sure you don't give her my pink coffee. Thank you. So she's like, tell me what happened. They, you know, she's standing there, and then next thing you know, they downstairs, they on the coffins. Tara's down there, she's sitting on one coffin. Pam's standing up, and she's like, it sound like he's a part of the pack or whatever this shit is. When they do it, you know, they begin to feed on each other and, you know, each other's blood and blah, 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 this and that and other. And Tara's like, did you ever do it? And she said, nah, me and Eric never did it. Okay, so this kind of lets Pam know what the hell she's dealing with. Meanwhile, Pam walks off because Jessica's like, thank you, this and that and other. She's like, okay, you know, let's just braid each other's hair. You motherfucking young vampires, y'all kill me. This is what she's like. She walks out. Jessica's talking to Tara and like, are you and her into each other? Y'all, is Tara in? Is she trying to bump vampire uglies with Pam? Now, girl, you know you barking up the wrong tree, honey. And Jessica called that shit out, and she's like, I just want to be friends, and even if you do go off and fight me, I'll heal, blah, blah, blah. So they have this whole conversation. But looking at Tara's face, she's like, no, I'm not, you know, but yeah, I am. You know, like, what the hell? Anywho. So then they go upstairs, and they're in the barn shit, and Tara's at the shit, and Pam's sitting up on the thing, and ain't hardly nobody there. I don't know who old girl stripping for. She's just up there like, well, if I could just get a quarter, honey. A penny, and she's just going in, you know. So Pam's sitting there, all of a sudden the chick who's in the authority, the old ass bitch with the pink jacket, apparently she was the maker of the sheriff, comes in, and Tara's like, we don't have no true blood, can I get you something else? And then she starts saying, and Tara starts talking. She slams Tara's shit down on the damn counter, which Tara stayed getting her ass whooped this season. She's like, I can smell my prodigy on you, and you lying, this and that and other, and who killed him? Did you do it? And then Pam said she did. Oh, girl's like, how dare you? Next thing you know, here come the people with their guns. Pam gets locked up. Tara's looking like, oh, Lord, we didn't even get together. You know, she's nervous. Oh, Lord, they done took Pam back to the thing about this time. The shapeshifters is in there. They shifting again and going through and frolicking. They finally found the little puppy, the wolf, the baby, and everybody's there. And while girl's there with the pink jacket on, she smells Jessica, takes her back to Bill. Bill somewhere with Lilith standing there with Lilith, whoever plays this person. Girl, I don't know why they got that front lace wig on your coochie, but I'm going to need them to get it off. She's standing there just, woof. And I'm like, what the hell? She's like, you the one. But then come to find out, she done came to the dude, the black dude. She coming to old girl. So it's just what Pam says. So finally, it kind of shows what the whole purpose of this whole Lilith shit is. Okay, Bill's hearing the shit. Bill got the blood on his lip, and he heard them calling. No, he didn't hear them calling his name until after he done killed old dude, because he's in there praying to Lilith, and there's Lilith's handprint. He's like, she chose me, and Bill's like, kills him and gives him the true death or whatever. Bill, if you don't take that tight-ass jacket off and stop giving people the true death, truly kill yourself. Just end it. Because, I mean, your character has went in the wrong way. Oh, Lord. So, about this time, that's when they calling to say, yo, your daughter's here. And meanwhile, Pam's walking, and they done found Sam and them. And Sam's like, let's shift. And then he agrees to be dinner and run into Pam. And she's like, what you doing here? And he's like, what you doing here? So, the gang's out here. Bill is chastising Jessica. He done slapped father ass. And, ooh, y'all, it's too much going on. Then, let's zoom right on back to the little fairy area, because they just hitting him with all they light shit, trying to keep him out. And that's how the shit ends. Now, y'all, I know it's so much going on that it's confusing, but yet, even with them trying to give up all of these little things, it's like they still leaving a lot of shit closed. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, what are you doing? Like, they all over the place. This is why I was disappointed with this time. And I have to say, I'm a little disappointed with them a little bit this season. It was a few where I was like, okay, I feel where you're going. But y'all did too much, and now, y'all don't know. Y'all tell me if I'm wrong. I just feel like they leaving a lot of stuff open. They adding too much shit in, and am I the only one that's like, I don't know, y'all. True Blood is just, I don't know. Y'all tell me. If I left some shit out, y'all put that shit in. But my question to y'all is, do y'all feel like y'all know, they leaving some shit out? They not closing no ends. Am I the only one want to know where Jesus is and why La and what the hell? I don't know. Oh, y'all, by the way, Eric and them got out. See what I mean? There was so much going on. Eric and them got out. Him and old girl, they in the car supposed to be going to do something. Bill's like, follow them. They didn't. Eric, y'all know he's treacherous as hell. So he done killed them and they loose. And I'm like, it's too much going on. Y'all tell me what y'all think. Somebody else do a video so I can see y'all take on it all. Are y'all disappointed with this season? The way things are going. Am I the only one that feel like this last episode they're going to do is just ain't going to do nothing but leave like you being like, what the hell? Another damn thing I left there. See what I mean? The damn general comes in there. Now, I don't know how I left this shit out. So he comes in there. He's looking for old boy. He ain't there. He's letting them know, which is why Eric was gone. We just seen Russell and his new woman bleeding these people dry. And he's basically told them, we got it on tape if anything happened to me. Another thing, you think we ain't made no weapons. And I'm like, that ought to let you know. We done made some damn weapons. And I'm like, that's right. Get the weapons. Where they at? We gonna need little weapons here. So Eric pops up, and y'all know he's that damn Eric hopped up and broke his damn neck, and they like, why the hell you do that? And he's like, well, I'm gonna go and try to do Eric, but this is part of Eric's plan to get out of him and old girl. Anywho, so really that's it, y'all. That's really it. I'm sorry. It's just with so much going on, but yet so much left out. So y'all, I'm out of here. I'm sorry. I hope y'all not disappointed with this review. I can only give y'all what I had and what I seen, and I was really a little disappointed. So y'all drop it below and let me know if you kind of on the same page as I am. So I'm out of here. Much love.